He does unnecessary flippy shit too. Like he flipped into the ring for no reason.
In his real life, he's very into parkour.
You don't need to do that to get into the ring against the Big Show.
Serena Deeb, as you would know her in AEW, back when she had to shave her head. Basically, she has a female Dean Malenko. I can beat you with 1,000 holds type deal.
Okay. Although it's women's wrestling, so it'd probably be more like, 50.
Previously, through Vince McMahon's matches, yeah, he's getting his ass kicked, but you had Shawn Michaels elbow him through the table. Mm-hmm. But no, this was just a straight up ass beat. There's no flash about this. You're just getting your ass beat. I think the less we say about this match, the better. And that was the last we would see of Shawn Michaels until, let's just say that's the last time he's in the ring. Ever. All right.
Move on now. All right.
Yes.
That brings us on to our Wrestling Rewind.
Retro Review.
And we are doing WrestleMania 26. We are in Phoenix, Arizona. They show aerial footage of the surrounding area and jets. Then Fantasia sang America the Beautiful. I forgot she was a thing.
Oh, yeah. She won that American.
Did she win or was she like runner-up?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe she did lose Ruben Stutter.
Maybe.
I don't know. She made a name out of herself for it.
I thought it was a meh performance and her hair looks stupid.
Fair enough.
And we got a video montage. The main theme is a once-in-a-lifetime WrestleMania moment and the hell the wrestlers have to put themselves through to achieve it. And we have Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, and Matt Stryker on commentary. Now, I happen to like Matt Stryker. Sometimes he says some irreverent shit and he goes kind of off the rails, but I appreciate that he tries.
Yeah, he's an acquired taste.
I like that he tries to be a serious sports commentator, but I could see why people wouldn't like him. I just happen to like him. So R-Truth and John Morrison faced Show Miz for the Unified WWE Tag Team Championship. I do not miss when R-Truth rapped to the ring, nor do I miss... Does he?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. I also don't miss John Morrison.
I don't know. I thought his entrance was pretty good.
I hate his entrance. That stupid slow motion shit.
Yeah, I like it. I'll go ahead and say, right off the bat, this WrestleMania, or at least for me, this was like S tier entrance music. Okay. Like everybody had banger songs, except for The Miz and The Big Show.
Are you fucking kidding me? I loved it. Like it's either the people that did the Miz's song, they started incorporating the Big Show shit, or vice versa. But I like how the existing song, it's The Miz. I loved it.
Yeah, it was just like a mashup of both of their songs.
Yeah.
It was mashed good. I didn't like the song overall.
That's like the only theme song that stood out to me. It's funny that you say that. That's why we do these.
Yeah.
My next note. How about that Show Miz theme? So this might be the Miz's first WrestleMania, right?
I believe so.
Starts off with the Miz and Morrison going back and forth. Morrison tags in Truth. Then Morrison hits a stupid breakdance leg drop thing. And then Truth hits a leg drop from the top rope. Truth beats on Miz for a bit. Then Big Show tags himself in. Big Show hits Truth with a fallaway slam, which was awesome. Then he shoves Morrison off the apron before slapping Truth to the mat. Just swats him down. Big Show goes for a top rope move on Truth for some reason. It never ends well because Morrison just kicked him in the head. The Miz and Morrison are tagged in. Morrison is all sizzle, no steak. Like all he does is just flippy shit with no purpose. He does unnecessary flippy shit too. Like he flipped into the ring for no fucking reason. That's
because in his real life, he's very into parkour.
You don't need to do that to get into the ring against the Big Show.
Yeah, he thinks that's wrestling.
Yeah, it just bugged me. So Morrison goes for Starship Pain. Big Show drags Miz out of the ring, saving him. And then Morrison goes crashing to the mat. Truth tries to crossbody Big Show from the ring to the floor. Big Show catches Truth and posts him. Miz and Morrison are left in the ring. Miz goes for a skull-crushing finale. Morrison counters with a pin combination. Miz beats on Morrison for a bit. Morrison starts to get a second wind. Big Show blind tags Miz. Morrison goes for a springboard thing. And then Show just slugs him in the face 1, 2, 3. I like serious Big Show. And I could get behind Show Miz, especially with that banger theme song. And this is probably before they get ruined.
Yeah, they didn't last too long, but it did come out of nowhere, this finish. But I do like the Big Show just straight out punch. I like when he used that finish.
If anybody should have a punch as a finishing move, it should be the Big Show.
Yeah.
I might start calling him the Giant again. We'll see what happens. Oh no, he does his comedy shit. Never mind.
Yeah, Vince is gonna humiliate him again soon.
Well, then we get to experience some of the sights and sounds of WrestleMania week. It was bullshit fan access stuff, and they played golf and had a reading contest or something.
I think that's what it was.
After that, we have Ted DiBiase Jr. versus Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for a triple threat. And they put zero thought into Cody's first theme song. This is very generic and boring. It was like
That's
a WCW theme.
That's fair.
It starts with DiBiase and Rhodes teaming up on Orton. Orton kicks both of their asses. DiBiase catches Orton with a drop kick. He and Rhodes just swarm Orton. Rhodes and DiBiase beat the piss out of Orton for a long ass time. And then Randy attempts to fight back at one point. DiBiase takes Orton out with a clothesline. It's all going smoothly for Rhodes and DiBiase. They're double teaming Orton. They have him dead to rights. Then Cody goes for the top rope. And then DiBiase has the audacity to try to cover Orton. So Cody gets in DiBiase's face and then tosses him out of the ring. Cody hits an Alabama slam on Orton. DiBiase breaks up Cody's pin. He and Rhodes start going at it. And they fight out and back in the ring. They start going at it again. Then they look over to Orton and stop because they realize that he's getting up. They're like, oh shit. So Orton gets up. He beats the dog shit out of Rhodes and DiBiase. Hits both of them with a power slam. He sets Rhodes up for an RKO. DiBiase pulls Orton out of the ring. Then Rhodes hits DiBiase with a crossbody to the floor, intended for Orton. Orton hits a double draping DDT, coils up, hits Rhodes with an RKO, stops, suddenly stands up, looks around, then he punts Cody. DiBiase sneaks up behind, locks in the $1 Million Dream onto Orton, and then DiBiase ends up getting RKO'd. 1, 2, 3. Great match.
It was. And I've said it before, DiBiase really dropped the ball here.
He did.
Randy Orton became something, Cody Rhodes became something. He's odd man out there.
DiBiase became a felon.
Yeah, he's allegedly over here scamming people in lottery scams, allegedly. You had it all, man. All you had to do was stay there.
Who was a bigger disappointment, him or Curtis Axel?
I think Curtis Axel,
okay.
I'm being honest. DiBiase at least had Axel, he won a title too.
Yeah, he won the Intercontinental title.
But they even put him with Paul Heyman and it didn't work. That being Axel.
Well, Ted DiBiase got to use his name.
And yeah, he didn't use his name.
Michael McGillicuddy.
I'm sure there was a story there why he didn't use the Henning name.
I think they just didn't want him to.
Or he thought he's bigger than the name.
I don't know. Well, after that, we have the Money in the Bank match. Our contestants are Kofi, Kingston, MVP, Evan Bourne, who looked like a live-action Nickelodeon cartoon.
That was Ricochet before Ricochet.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, Jack Swagger. Theme music did not fit the character at all, but it was awesome. Shelton Benjamin, Matt Hardy, Dolph Ziggler, who's debuting, and the chosen one, Skinny Boy Drew McIntyre, also in his WrestleMania debut. And his theme music was awesome.
Yep.
We have
Broken Dreams.
Yeah.
It was at this point that I realized, wow, this WrestleMania really has a banger song list. You know, Christian had his theme. Kofi Kingston, I like that theme.
SOS, give me no shelter.
Yeah. Shelton Benjamin had the Ain't No Stopping Me Now. MVP had his theme song was the same. Mm-hmm. And then you had Drew with Broken Dreams.
Which did not fit his character, I don't think.
Maybe not.
But it was a good song. And when I played, I'm like, who the fuck is this? Why does he have that stupid Scottish theme now? I'd go back.
Well, you remember he brought that, part of that theme, he brought it back when he did the Cardiff show.
Did he?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. I don't remember.
He brought the beginning part of it.
Okay.
Not all the way through. They played like a video package at the beginning and it had that theme as the overlay and then it goes to his other theme. But yeah, great theme.
So, in case you weren't paying attention, this was 10 people in a ladder match.
Yes.
Which means this was a 10-man clusterfuck.
And I also thought I was sitting through a freaking battle royal.
I did too.
In this match.
Especially when it started and everybody started brawling.
Yeah.
So highlights are Kane powerbombed Kofi on a ladder. Swagger got sandwiched with ladders by Hardy and Christian. Hardy and Christian and Bourne go for the briefcase while Swagger is still stuck. Swagger ends up knocking Hardy off. Christian goes for an unprettier on Bourne. Bourne blocks it, then does a shooting star press to Christian from the ladder. Cole made sure to yell, "Airborne!" because he's a fucking talentless piece of shit.
Because he's Ricochet.
MVP tried to powerbomb Benjamin to the floor. Benjamin reversed it into a Frankensteiner, and they both tumbled out of the ring. Kane ripped a ladder in half so Kofi could do a stunt with it. Instead of grabbing a fully functional ladder that was just sitting not too far from him, and it would have saved time, he used it as stilts to try to, I don't know, climb up them to get the... What was his end game?
I think the end game was, yes, to hold the ladder balance enough to get the briefcase, which I don't think he would have ever accomplished. But
I don't think so either. There's no way. Okay, he could probably climb up the ladder, but once he gets to the briefcase, it's all she wrote.
yeah, when he takes his hands off.
Uh-huh. Unless he has really, really strong legs, which I don't think he does. Not for those ladders.
Yeah, and the angle you'd have to have the ladders, that would have been a tough ask.
So Swagger ended up winning after cracking Christian in the head with the briefcase after an intense struggle on top of the ladder. And I couldn't give two fucks about this match, but it was nice seeing some of the debuts.
Yeah, the debuts were nice. The music soundtrack was nice, but it being a battle royal for a ladder match, never gonna work.
Yeah. So we get the a Don't Try This at Home ad.
Where everybody goes over their broken bones.
Yes. And then we get the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And the inductees this year are Mad Dog Vachon, which I know from the AWA, Wendy Richter, who you may remember from WrestleMania 1, Stu Hart, the patriarch of the Hart family, a Gorgeous George, who is coined for being the first wrestler with a gimmick.
Oh, look at there. I thought it would have been Superstar Billy Graham.
Superstar is way after Gorgeous George.
Okay.
Gorgeous George was in the 40s and 50s.
Okay.
I know Billy Graham was at least in the 70s.
Well, that's a fun little trivia note. It's just if I was playing the trivia, I would have said Billy Graham.
Boom. Knowledge. Next was Antonio Inoki, who had the weirdest shaped head.
Yeah.
He was like 90% head, with all due respect. And then we have Bob Uecker, who pretty much looked the same. And my favorite part was when he said he kicked Andre's ass after the cameras were off. He's like, oh, Andre choked me. But once those cameras were off. And then the final inductee was the $1 Million Man. And then they paraded out the inductees. Wendy Richter sure loved that line from Lauper's song. Girls just want to have fun.
It's a good song. I can't even lie.
Yeah. I thought it was elder abuse letting Gorgeous George's widow come out in public like that. She just looked like a clump of cells being held together by a walker. It was not nearly as interesting as Stone Cold's last year. Nobody rode a four-wheeler. There's no beer.
Well, I don't mean to disrespect any of them, obviously. I couldn't help to find myself thinking, so who's the headliner of this year?
It was $1 Million Man.
And for that reason, it's kind of a weak lineup, I would say.
Well, I guess, I don't know. I think Mad Dog Vachon, that's a strong name. Wendy Richter, I guess. She's a woman.
Well, yeah,
I thought it was...
You know what I mean? Like, they had Stone Cold the previous year. They had, big...
Who else?
There's always been like a big headline name guy.
I think $1 Million Man's a big name.
He is.
He's not Stone Cold, but he's still a big name. And then Antonio Inoki, he was the fucking president of New Japan. He wrestled Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah, they did have that exhibition.
Mm-hmm. It was awful. It was terrible. My God. That's
so
the whole...
was it like a real thing?
The legend is that Inoki wanted it to be a work, but Muhammad Ali wasn't having that. He was down on his luck at the time, so he was trying to revamp his career or some shit, or still be legitimate. I can't be doing no phony stuff, so Inoki's like, all right.
Is it too late to back out then?
Well, no, he was all for it, but I'll have to send it to you. It's really disappointing and sad. But I think that's a good lesson, because that's what wrestling would look like if it was real.
Yeah.
I guess as the wrestling historian in me, I guess. I did think it was kind of selfish of Owen Hart not to be there.
Oh.
So we get a Triple H and Sheamus video package. Sheamus grew up watching WWE as a young fella in Ireland. Triple H stood out to him the most. Sheamus says Triple H was selfish, aggressive, and vicious. Hell, he even used a sledgehammer to get on top and stay there. Sheamus in less than 1 year has ended careers, dominated Raw, and became WWE champion. Sheamus was supposed to defend his title at WrestleMania, but Triple H ruined it. Cuts to last Elimination Chamber. Triple H hits Sheamus with a pedigree and eliminating him, thus ending his title reign. Sheamus thanks Triple H because he was who Sheamus wanted to face at WrestleMania all along. Triple H says he kind of respects what Sheamus is doing. Triple H came to the scene wanting to make a name for himself at WrestleMania, so he jumped on the biggest dog he could find. Cuts to Ultimate Warrior. Triple H says, "You know what happened? I got crushed. I had to work to be the guy. Some have tried, some have succeeded. You have to risk it all or be nothing." Sheamus said he's beating Triple H and he wants to take his throne. I was surprised at how skinny Sheamus is.
Yeah, he was in shape.
Very lean. Not to say he's fat or anything, but he's definitely put on more weight muscle-wise.
Yeah. Still his pasty white, though.
My God. Well, that's kind of his thing, though.
And he had his, I forgot the name of the song, but he had his good theme.
All our lives. Oh, the Star Society. Yeah, I love that theme.
Yeah, that's his best theme. I'm surprised I don't know the name of it. I was on a good roll knowing the names of songs, but
yeah, it happens. So Sheamus versus Triple H. Starts off with an aggressive lockup. Sheamus backs Triple H in the corner, shoves him and says, "I am the future." They lock up again. Triple H backs Sheamus in the corner and slaps him. Triple H whoops on Sheamus and goes for a pedigree. Sheamus escapes. They lock up again. This time Sheamus gets the advantage and starts working on Triple H. Triple H cuts Sheamus off with a clothesline. Then he hits a suplex and a knee drop. Sheamus flees the ring. Triple H follows, tosses Sheamus back in the ring, locks in a figure four. Sheamus flees to the floor again and then whips Triple H to the steel steps. They get back in the ring. Sheamus hits a Celtic backbreaker twice and he starts beating the shit out of Triple H. Crowd booed. Like, wow, Triple H is over. Either that or they hate Sheamus. So the ref separates the two. Triple H tries to come back and they start trading blows until Sheamus lays Triple H out with a double axe handle. And then Sheamus hits a running power slam, locks in a side headlock. Triple H turns into a belly to back suplex. Then he uses the opening to start gaining momentum and hits Sheamus with a DDT. They trade punches again. Triple H hits the Harley Race knee. He goes for a pedigree. Sheamus counters. Triple H counters the counter with a neck breaker. He gets Sheamus in the corner, starts doing the 10 punches. Sheamus escapes, tries to turn into a Razor's Edge. Triple H escapes the Razor's Edge, goes for a pedigree. Sheamus counters with a back body drop and he hits a brogue kick. Then he goes for the Razor's Edge again. Triple H counters into a spine buster. Sheamus hits another brogue kick from the apron. And instead of making the cover, like a smart person would do, he lifts Triple H to his feet. And then Triple H hits Sheamus with a pedigree 1, 2, 3. And then Triple H excessively celebrated.
Good match between them.
Yeah.
And now I did see your point, though. You said about Shawn Michaels and Undertaker started the whole false finish thing.
Yep.
Well, it happened in this match. I believe Triple H kicked out of a bro kick that was hit clean. And didn't Sheamus kick out of a pedigree? It wasn't one of those like immediately followed up.
I have him escaping a couple pedigrees. I don't remember him getting hit with one.
Or maybe he rolled out of the ring or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. But I definitely see what you're saying now. But I thought it was a good match, even with the false finish thing.
Fair enough. But that's
I actually like false finishes.
I do too, but I don't like when there's 100 finishers in one match.
Yeah. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, and you preload all your finishers.
Yeah. We get a Rey Mysterio Jr. CM Punk video package. Punk interrupts a birthday celebration Rey's holding for his daughter. I didn't know he had a daughter.
Oh, I did. Wow, that sounded creepy.
Yeah, I did.
Well, she's a full adult now, so it's okay.
All right. So the birthday celebration is being held in the middle of the wrestling ring for some reason. And we learned that Rey apparently cost Punk a match at WrestleMania. So Punk throws him a challenge at WrestleMania. Rey says this isn't the time or the place. You know, it's his daughter's birthday or whatever. Punk asks if Rey... Yeah. Punk asks if Rey's afraid of getting hurt in front of his family. Punk calls Rey a coward, gets down on his knees to Rey's level. Punk slaps Rey, and Rey just walks away while Punk talks shit to him and his family. Then finishes the happy birthday song for Rey's daughter. And that's it.
Yep. And this was the Straight Edge Society version of Punk.
Yes.
I don't know if he was Jesus Christ or Charles Manson, but either one.
In his documentary, he said he was 100% doing Christ imagery.
Okay.
The Serena and Gallows were his disciples, that type of shit.
Yes. Serena Deeb, as you would know her in AEW. And this was back when she had to shave her head.
Does she wrestle?
In AEW or here?
In AEW.
Yes, she does. She's actually pretty good for, you know. Basically, she has a female Dean Malenko. I can beat you with 1,000 holds type deal.
Okay. I could see that working. Although it's women's wrestling, so it'd probably be more like, 50.
I said it's good for, well,
Yeah.
so something back there.
So CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio Jr. If Mysterio loses, he has to join the Straight Edge Society.
And our theme songs for the match, we get Booyaka Booyaka 619. So he has his thing that he still uses. And then Punk comes out to This Fire Burns by Killswitch Engaged, I believe.
Yeah, I think
So
you're right.
it says all,
Yeah, that's a good song. So Punk comes out holding a microphone with Serena and Luke Gallows. And Punk says, over 70,000 weak-minded individuals who think just because they're so hopped up on hallucinogenic drugs that Rey Mysterio is a superhero. Over 70,000 people that think if they can pop a pill or if take a drink, that somehow their problems will go away, just like they think that their superhero Rey Mysterio will make the monster go away. Except I'm not a monster. I'm a savior, and I can save Rey Mysterio. I can lead you all to a better place, and I will lead you all by example because I choose to be drug-free. I choose to be better than each and every single one of you. Tonight, Rey Mysterio does not have a choice. I will beat him, and he will join my Straight Edge Society. And in doing so, 70,000 people just like you will choose me as their savior, and the Straight Edge Society will live on. One nation, under Punk, indivisible, with integrity and sobriety for all.
yeah,
So it's worth noting that CM Punk is wearing G.I. Joe inspired ring gear. It's cool.
yeah, I was down for it.
Ray comes out with 2 pubic hairs coming out of the back of his mask. Turns out he was paying homage to Avatar. And I was thinking the Nickelodeon Avatar, not the blue Avatar. So I was trying to think what fucking character he was trying to be. So it starts off with Gallows and Serena distracting Ray so Punk can attack him. Stryker called Punk's mind a vile pigsty, which I thought was a great line. Punk gets Ray in a tree of woe. Serena chokes Ray from the floor. Punk goes for a baseball slide, misses, and crotches himself on the ring post. I think Eddie did that spot. Then Punk slams Ray into the steel steps. He gets Ray in a side headlock. Ray fights out of it, starts getting a head of steam. Ray hits a seated senton, then gets caught in a modified power slam by Punk. Ray goes for a Frankensteiner. Punk blocks it, kicks Ray in the side of the head. Ray hits a springboard DDT, goes for his 619. Punk blocks it, goes for the GTS. Ray escapes, kicks Punk in the face, goes for a springboard moonsault on Punk's shoulders, and then he gets caught in another GTS attempt, which was really cool.
Yeah, I like that transition.
So Ray blocked it again by grabbing the ropes. Ray's standing on the apron fighting with Punk. Ray kicks Punk in the face again. He misses a frog splash. Shades of Eddie Guerrero. Punk hits a Shining Wizard, goes for what looks like a power bomb. Ray counters the power bomb, sets Punk up for a 619. And Serena shields Punk on the apron, blocking the 619. Gallows stands on the other apron, blocking Ray from 619ing Serena and Punk because he was about to. And Ray turns around, he gets caught in a GTS. Ray counters the GTS with a Frankensteiner, sending Punk into Gallows. So Gallows is knocked out. And then Ray hits a 619 while Serena uselessly watches it happen. And then Ray hits his stupid little splash, 1, 2, 3.
I enjoyed this match. I think CM Punk and Ray, they work together pretty good.
I think CM Punk works well with just about anybody.
That's true.
Not to say Ray's bad, but I think Punk's style just kind of seems to work with any style.
Yeah, it was a little jarring, I will say, when he took this being Punk, took his shirt off and he had the hairy chest, part of his gimmick.
He was extra hairy, yeah. It bugged me that they were interfering in the match and then Serena was like just a couple feet away and she could have helped Punk, but she just watched.
Yeah.
But aside from that, yeah, great match. I missed all of the Straight Edge Society stuff, so it's kind of cool to go back and experience it for the first time.
I dug the Straight Edge Society, that version of Punk.
Heel Punk is awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if it's this past Royal Rumble or it was the next one, but Punk had the whole Iron Man gimmick. You know, the solo guy who eliminates a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
He had the microphone and he's cutting a promo during each elimination.
Oh, that's cool.
Part of his Straight Edge Society. So, yeah.
So we get a Bret Hart, Vince McMahon video package. We all know what their story is and the significance of this match, even if they're both senior citizens at this point. So Bret had a bad time, though. McMahon kicked him in the balls. Keebler drove a car into his leg. And initially, Vince declined a WrestleMania match with Bret because Bret deserves to be screwed again. But after Bret breaks his leg, McMahon is all in for the WrestleMania match. He calls Bret a coward when Bret says he can't wrestle because his fucking leg is broken. McMahon kicks Brett's crutches out from under him, and Brett says now he doesn't want a wrestling match, he wants a fight. So they agree to a no-holds-barred match. Vince says once again, Brett screwed Brett. And at the contract signing, Brett reveals that his leg was fine all along. It was great because they did the contract signing, cuts to McMahon. Once again, Brett screwed Brett. Cuts to Brett, and you just see the cast on the desk.
Yeah, you did it
And
all.
it's like, oh shit. And it was a ruse to get McMahon to agree to a match. Brett says if McMahon backs out of the match, he'll sue him. And Vince screwed Vince. So you have Bret Hart versus Mr. McMahon in a no-holds-barred match. Special guest referee is one of the lumberjacks, I guess. So Vince comes out and says, look at you, Bret. In my ring, at my greatest creation, WrestleMania. You deserve a WrestleMania-sized screwing. He says he spent a lot of money for some lumberjacks for the match, and one of them will be the referee. Bret screwed Bret. Vince screwed Bret, and now Bret's family will screw Bret. Hearts come out. Natty has her original face.
Yeah. She didn't have her booyakas, though, so.
She did not. Bruce Hart, Bret's uncle, turns out to be the referee. I thought he was going to wear the aviators the whole time. He looked drunker. He looked, shit, what was that movie? The dead guy? Weekend at Bernie's. Yeah. Just fucking, he did not look like he was all there. So Bruce Hart and the Hart Foundation have rallied with Vince McMahon against their family member, Bret. Bret's astonished. So he grabs a microphone all solemn. He looks around. He says, I can't believe this. You all agreed to this? Well, what's done is done. But if there's one thing I know about the Hart family is you got paid up front, didn't you? You all got your money? Well, if there's one thing I've learned from Montreal is that there's nothing sweeter than a good double cross. You see, the thing here, Vince, is that the Hart family is stronger than ever and united as one tonight. They told me what you were trying to do, and we all agreed ahead of time. We know all about your little tricks. But tonight, this is your greatest creation of them all. WrestleMania will be forever remembered as the night Bret screwed Vince. Boy, there's a lot of screwing going on. So it starts off with Vince panicking as the tables have been completely turned on him. And Bret proceeds to just beat the piss out of Vince while the Harts cheer him on from the floor. And then they say harder while Bret was kicking Vince in the corner. Vince escapes to the floor and he gets the shit beat out of him by the lumberjacks. And everyone got a shot in, even Natty's original face. One of them lifts McMahon. Tyson Kidd goes on the top ropes. Then they put Vince down. Tyson looks confused. Then they lift Vince again. Tyson hits a clothesline. So it's basically like a little mini doomsday device. The lumberjacks throw Vince back into the ring. Bret beats the shit out of him some more. Vince escapes the ring again like an idiot. He tries to crawl under it. The Harts drag Vince out and he's holding a pry bar. The Harts suddenly don't want to fight anymore. They're huddled in two separate masses, calling Vince a coward for not letting him beat the piss out of him. Vince dives in the ring, goes after Bret with the pry bar. Bret ducks and just starts whooping Vince's ass some more. Bret gets the pry bar, starts bludgeoning Vince with it. Then he stabs him in the throat with it. The Harts start drumming the mat like it's a fucking pep rally. Bret goes for a sharpshooter, drops the hold, beats the shit out of Vince with the pry bar again. Then he looks like he's going to go for the sharpshooter. Then he starts stomping on Vince's dick. And then he
just missed a step. He's going to step over for the sharpshooter.
Oh, sure.
Multiple times.
And then he just stomps him. Bret grabs Vince's legs a third time, delivers more stomps. Hart slides a chair in for Bret. Bret sits in it and waits for Vince to get to his feet. Bret looks exhausted from beating Vince's ass. McMahon gets to his feet. Bret calmly gets out of the chair and smacks Vince in the back with it a lot. Then he beats the shit out of Vince so long that King starts giggling to himself. Then King starts saying, like, man, this is really hard to watch. So finally, Bret locks in the sharpshooter. Of course, he kept it locked in after the bell. And of course, Vince tapped out immediately. Bruce and Bret walk on Vince while the Harts come in to celebrate in the ring. Basically, Vince let Bret crucify him for however long this match was.
Yeah, that was fair for him. Now, in the documentary, the Netflix documentary that is, Vince said that, the night he screwed Bret, he pretty much let him take a shot at him that night. But yeah, he still let Bret get his revenge. But it was an awkward match to watch, I'll say that. The point where Bret is driving the chair into Vince and you just hear Vince going, ah!
Yeah. It was really surreal to me when the first time Vince got out of the ring and all of the Hearts were just beating the shit out of him. And then Tyson Kidd gets on him and starts grounding and pounding him.
Yeah. It's like, just take it all out on you now.
It was strange. I was confused.
And I know he tried to set up Hart with, buying out his family, but it was also surprising that he didn't have any backup or no one thought to come help.
No
In any
Stooges, no
way.
Shane, no nothing. They just let it
Yeah.
happen. I thought it was great though. Like, I can't believe you all did this. But wait,
Yeah. But you got paid up front, didn't you?
I might have to say this might be the match of the night for me.
Oh, wow.
Just for the sheer wrestling of it.
The awkwardness.
Yes. The silliness, the story, the family having their part, Bruce with his goddamn aviators. Just like a total package type thing.
Yeah. I was definitely confused. Because, previously through Vince McMahon's matches, yeah, he's getting his ass kicked, but, it's been like no holds barred spectacle. Like he had Shawn Michaels elbow him through the top of the ladder, through the table. But no, this was just a straight up ass beat.
Yeah.
There's no flash about this. You're just getting your ass beat.
And get
So
his
it's
ass beat,
definitely-
he did.
Yeah, definitely caught off guard with the way it turned out.
Yeah, I appreciated it though.
Like, this isn't a match at all.
No.
He's just getting his ass beat.
And it wasn't until he tapped out on the sharpshooter, Vince didn't get one shot in.
He didn't.
So after that, we get a WrestleMania 27 promo. It's going to be in Atlanta. Hot Atlanta, as the kids say it these days. And then they do the attendance. It was 72,219. Then they set off fireworks outside of the arena.
Yep, for some reason.
For some reason. And then we get Jericho and Edge video package. Edge is back from an injury and looking to kick ass and take names. He was a tag team champions with Jericho before he got hurt. During the Slammy Awards, Jericho thanked the long-forgotten Edge for getting hurt because he became a single star, I guess. Edge vowed to rehab harder than ever, and he ends up winning the Royal Rumble and earning a main event spot at WrestleMania. Jericho, at the same time, became the World Heavyweight Champion without Edge. Edge selects Jericho for his title match and says Jericho's only the best at getting speared by him. Ooh. Jericho attacks Edge's recently healed Achilles tendon and says he's going to make Edge sorry he came back. And that leads us to Chris Jericho versus Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship.
And our musics are Jericho's Break the Walls Down and Edge had Metalingus.
Starts off with both men feeling each other out. Then Jericho gets the advantage while Edge is distracted by the referee in the corner. Edge catches Jericho with a pancake and sets him up for a spear. Jericho gets out of the ring. Edge gets Jericho and tosses him back in the ring. Jericho kicks Edge in the face while he's coming back through the ropes. Jericho baseball slides Edge out of the ring, then slingshots Edge on the bottom rope. Nobody does that anymore. It makes me sad. Jericho hits a belly-to-back suplex. Then it looks like he locks in $1 Million Dream onto Edge. Edge tries to fight out. Jericho shuts him down and just starts beating Edge's ass. Jericho misses a shoulder charge in the corner. Edge fights back, catches Jericho with a spinning heel kick. Jericho hangs Edge on the ropes, goes for a corner springboard drop kick. Edge sidesteps, ends up shoulder charging Jericho on the floor. The Edge tosses Jericho back in the ring, goes for a top rope move. Jericho recovers, climbs the top rope with Edge. They start wailing on each other. Jericho gets face planted. They tussle for a bit. Jericho makes a couple attempts at the lion tamer. Edge escapes one attempt by twisting out of it with his leg strength. Edge does a sunset flip from the middle rope for 2. Edge counters into a pen attempt for 2. Then Jericho kicks Edge square in the face. And then he goes for a code breaker. Edge blocks it, throws Jericho in the turnbuckle. Edge goes for a spear. Jericho counters it with a lion tamer. And Edge managed to roll out of it into a pin attempt after quite a struggle. Doesn't matter though, because Edge is okay until he gets leveled by Jericho's elbow. And Jericho goes for a lion salt, misses, but lands on his feet. Edge hits some sort of slam. Jericho hits an enziguri, goes for his corner bulldog. Edge counters it with an impaler DDT. And then Edge charges Jericho while he's in the corner, and he gets kicked in the face. Jericho waits for Edge to get to his feet, and levels him again with a forearm to the back of the head. Jericho sets up for a spear on Edge, and then Edge counters it with a big boot. Edge goes for a spear. Jericho counters with a code breaker, and then Jericho doesn't get to the pin, and he gets pissed off. So he starts working on Edge's Achilles tendon. Edge gets up, starts wailing on Jericho. Jericho just grabs Edge's legs and locks in another lion tamer. Edge crawls to the ropes. Jericho drags Edge to the middle of the ring. and turns the lion tamer into a half Boston crab. And this is the leg that Edge just recently came back from injury on. So after a long struggle, Edge manages to crawl to the ropes, then almost beats Jericho with a quick roll-up. Edge and Jericho tumble to the outside of the ring, courtesy of a Edge clothesline. Jericho grabs the World Heavyweight belt, and Edge drags him back to the ring. Edge ends up bumping into the ref. Jericho cracks Edge in the head with the title belt. Ref manages to conveniently recover just as Jericho makes the pin. Edge kicks out. Jericho hits a code breaker, 1, 2, 3.
And then Jericho walks out as champion.
He retains.
Yeah, walks in and out as champion.
And Jericho tried to attack Edge after the match. Edge spears him off the announce desk through the barricade. And yeah, this felt long as fuck.
Honestly, I didn't remember specifically when he cashed in, so I thought Swagger was about to cash in.
Yeah, that's fair. I just couldn't get invested for some reason. Probably because of Jericho.
Probably.
But man, the false finishes.
They were there. And again, I enjoyed the match.
Okay. The girls had a 10-girl match. Santino's part was played by Vicky, and Vicky won. Who cares?
I think the less we say about this match, the better.
We get a Batista Cena video package. Batista attacks Cena, and then Cena's crawling on the mat, and he's staring at the WrestleMania sign while crawling to it. It was so fucking weird. Cena says he and Batista have been around for a while. They've never had a problem until now. Batista says that they've had the same career, but for some reason, WWE labeled Cena as the man. And he doesn't get it. He doesn't get why Cena got Stone Cold's torch. Cena says Batista does it for the money, but he loves this shit. And Batista says Cena is all Hollywood, and he's an ass kicker. And Batista said he broke Cena's neck, and they both know Cena can't beat him. Which brings us to Cena versus Batista for the WWE Championship.
Cena had his usual, you can't see me, my time is now. I don't know the name of...
I Walk Alone.
Yes, I Walk Alone. That's what it was. Banger themes. And Batista had the spotlight thing, which I was a fan of too.
His lone spotlight entrance.
Yeah.
And they say Batista has physically and mentally dominated Cena. Cena, who has never served in the military, gets soldiers standing at attention for his entrance so he can do his fruity little valor-stealing salute. Then they lock up, and it's almost like Lesnar and Goldberg, only these two give a shit. The Cena sucks chants came really early. In fact, there were fans with We Hate Cena shirts. Cena started getting booed when he had Batista in the corner throwing hands. In fact, anytime...
There was also a big laid out sign that said Cena sucks. Like, each fan had one letter.
Yeah.
And it was just spread across multiple fans.
So Batista clotheslined Cena in the back of the neck. The same neck he broke, apparently. And then he starts beating the fuck out of Cena. Stomps to the head, elbows on the apron. Cena reverses a suplex. Batista landed square on his ass. King even said something about it. Like, oh man, the way he landed on his ass. Mm-hmm. Cena starts to fire up, hits a bulldog for 2, and then goes for an FU. Batista counters with a DDT for 2. Then he starts to work on Cena again. And he gets Cena in a sleeper hold with a body scissor. Cena stands up with Batista on his back and then just breaks the grip. They trade punches. Batista hits a neck breaker for 2, applies another chokehold. Cena fights out by standing them both up and back body dropping Batista. Cena does his shoulder tackles and a belly to back suplex. He goes for a 5-knuckle shuffle. Batista pops up and catches Cena with a spine buster. Batista goes for a Batista bomb, and Cena turns it into an STFU. Batista manages to crawl to the ropes, and he catches Cena with a spear for 2. And he tries to hit a superplex. Cena fights out and knocks Batista down. Then he does a 5-knuckle shuffle from the top rope. Goes for the FU. Batista blocks it by grabbing onto the ropes. He counters it with a Batista bomb, and Cena kicks out at 2.5. Batista shits himself. Cena goes for an FU. Batista counters into a power slam. Cena counters and hits an FU for 2. Cena tries to do something off the top rope. Batista catches him with another spine buster as he's coming down. Then he goes for another Batista bomb. Cena counters with an STFU. Batista tries to fight out, but he's forced to tap. Cena celebrates with a belt and a stupid smile on his face after the match. Then the son of a bitch trolled his haters in the crowd by posing with them. And I really hated those damn STFU transitions. It's like a child wrestling his dad.
Surprisingly enough, I enjoyed this match too. They still did the false finish thing.
A lot.
But yeah, I ended up enjoying it.
Not me. It's Cena. So
if I'm nitpicking, I didn't like that Batista tapped out. That's just a little nitpick though. I don't know. This was just like a good wrestling show. Yeah, they had a lot of false finishes, but
yeah, it wasn't a bad WrestleMania at all. There was just some matches for me that was just take or leave them.
That's fair. And the women's match shouldn't have been on the card at all.
Most women's matches.
That abomination.
Well, we got a Michaels Taker video package. Shawn Michaels said he wrestled the perfect match last year, but lost on just one mistake. Michaels cost Taker his title. He wants Taker to get his revenge by facing Michaels at WrestleMania again. Undertaker only agrees if Michaels retires after the match. The Lord of the Rings music really took me out of it. The little pipe flute shit.
I can't say that I remember the music.
This music.
Here I am paying attention to
I know.
all parts. I'm like a freaking musician tonight, and this is the one. I don't remember the music.
Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, and it's no disqualification. Also dubbed the career versus streak match. So the entrances weren't nearly as good as last year. Starts off with Michaels and Taker in the middle of the ring. Michaels gives Taker the throat slash, and this pisses him off. And Michaels uses it to his advantage. He's chopping Taker in the corner, using his speed to evade when Taker would try to strike back. Eventually, Undertaker gets a hold of Shawn Michaels and hits a snake eyes and a big boot. He does an avalanche to Michaels in the corner, then hits old school, and this fucks up Taker's knee. So Taker goes for a choke slam. Michaels counters by doing nothing, and then starts kicking Taker's injured leg. Taker tries to hit a tombstone. Michaels escapes. It almost looks like he's trying to get Taker down with a cripple crossface, like he's beating him on the back and shit. Undertaker teases a choke slam again. Michaels teases a super kick, and Michaels goes back to Taker's injured leg. Undertaker starts fighting back, then dumps Shawn Michaels out of the ring. Oh no. Taker goes for a suicide dive, but Michaels rushes in and thankfully spears Undertaker's leg, possibly saving his life.
I was like, surely they're not going to do that again.
Right. Michaels goes for a figure four, gets dumped out of the ring again. Undertaker posts Michaels and does his apron leg drop, and this hurts his leg more. They get back in the ring. Michaels hits Taker with a double leg takedown and locks in the figure four. Taker bears through the pain and reverses the hold on Michaels. They start trading punches. Michaels hits his flying forearm and does a kip up. At the same time, Undertaker is getting to his feet and he's waiting for Michaels and then nails him with a choke slam for 2. Then he goes for a tombstone. Michaels escapes, locks in an ankle lock, then binds Taker's leg. Undertaker fights out of the ankle lock, and then Michaels dumps Taker out of the ring. He goes for a springboard crossbody to the floor. Undertaker catches Michaels. Michaels almost escapes, but ends up getting tombstoned onto the floor. Some medical guy comes out to check on Michaels. Undertaker says, "Fuck that," and shoves the guy into the barricade. Undertaker snatches Michaels, drags him to the ring, goes for the last ride. Michaels turns it into an X Factor. Michaels climbs the top rope, goes for his elbow drop. Taker gets a leg up, his injured leg, so it hurts both of them. So they're both rolling around on the mat in pain. Undertaker grabs Michaels from his back and locks into Hell's Gate. Michaels reverses, and then he hits a super kick out of nowhere for 2. And then he starts tuning up the band again, goes for Sweet Chin Music. Taker grabs Michaels and hits a last ride for 2. And Taker gets pissed off, tosses Michaels out of the ring. He starts clearing off one of the announce tables. He goes to last ride Michaels through the announce table, and Michaels escapes, hits Sweet Chin Music. Taker falls on the announce table. So Michaels gets back to the ring, climbs the top rope. He moonsaults Taker's legs through the announce table. And then he pushes Undertaker back to the ring. Both are in a different corner, unable to stand. Michaels gets to his feet, hits Sweet Chin Music for 2. He goes for Sweet Chin Music again. Undertaker hits Michaels with a choke slam. And then Undertaker hits Michaels with a tombstone for 2. Undertaker stands over Michaels, drops the straps, starts to do the throat slash, and stops. Then he starts to look sad. Michaels grabs Taker's leg and starts climbing it to get to his feet. Taker shouts, "Stay down!" Michaels sort of gets to his feet, does the throat slash to Taker. Taker stares at Michaels in disbelief. Then Michaels slaps Undertaker. So Undertaker grabs Michaels, hits a jumping tombstone, 1, 2, 3. After the match, Undertaker poses over Michaels, goes to leave, thinks about it, then pulls Michaels to his feet, tells him he's a tough son of a bitch. They shake hands and hug. And Michaels gets an earned standing ovation, and he says goodbye to the WWE Universe. And this was way better than the first match to me.
This was much more story driven.
Yes.
The tweaking of the knee, and that was pretty much the story of the match.
I think it was about the same length, if not longer, but it didn't seem like it was long. The first one just felt like it went on forever.
Yeah. I liked them both.
Oh, I did too. I got bored with the first one, though.
And that was the last we would see of Shawn Michaels until, let's just say that's the last time he's in the ring, ever.
Okay.
We don't need to discuss what happened in Saudi.
Fair enough.
See, Saudi just ruins everything.
Well, the next night on Raw, Shawn Michaels gave his farewell address to the fans, and the episode was a tribute to Michaels. In his address, Michaels thanked all the fans, specifically Vince McMahon, Bret Hart, and Triple H, on supporting him throughout his career. Undertaker also made an appearance when he tipped his hat to Shawn as a sign of respect. Before Michaels' farewell speech, Triple H came out and stated how much he would miss him. He remembered all the good times they had. Before he could continue, he was attacked by Sheamus. This set up a rematch between the two in a street fight at Extreme Rules. Not only would Sheamus win that match, he would also put Triple H out of action indefinitely. This was following a round of brogue kicks to Triple H's skull. So we have the feud between Batista and John Cena. It continued as Batista came out and demanded that he was awarded the championship back because he never lost the match at WrestleMania in the first place, I guess. I don't know how he weaseled out of that, or his logic. Didn't really explain. Now I kind of want to know because he tapped clean as a whistle.
I know, he tapped out. You can't say you didn't.
Yeah. After a tag team match, Batista attacked Cena and said he wouldn't be making anyone tap out anymore as he invoked a rematch clause at Extreme Rules. And he said it would be a last man standing match. Cena, of course, emerged victorious after duct taping Batista's legs to the ring post.
Oh, yeah.
The two would face
creative Cena last man standing finishes.
The two would face off one final time at Over the Limit in an I Quit match. After making him scream I quit, Cena would slam Batista through a stage off the top of an automobile. The next night on Raw, an injured Batista would quit the company out of frustration over the losses, and new Raw general manager Bret Hart denying him a future rematch against Cena. So on the episode of SmackDown after WrestleMania, Chris Jericho came out to flaunt the fact that he had defeated Edge. In the middle of his speech, Edge attacked him again, hit him with another spear. After stripping Jericho, revealing injured ribs as a result of Edge's spear at WrestleMania, Jack Swagger came out and hit Edge with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then he cashed in his title opportunity, performed a gut-wrench powerbomb on Jericho, and won the World Heavyweight title.
There it is.
So yeah, that was WrestleMania 26. The next one is WrestleMania 27. We said it was in Atlanta. Our main event is John Cena versus The Miz, the WWE Championship. So that'll be fun.
That's the main event?
Yeah.
Okay.
But before that, we have Super Brawl 8. That's in the Cow Palace in San Francisco, California. The main event is Hollywood Hogan versus Sting for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. We also have the Outsiders versus the Steiner Brothers for the WCW Tag Team Championship. We have DDP versus Chris Benoit for the WCW US title. We have the British Bulldog versus Mongo McMichael for nothing. But
just goes.
We have Juventud Guerrero versus Chris Jericho for the Cruiserweight Championship, and it's a mask versus title match. And then we have Saturn versus Rick Martel versus Booker T in a gauntlet match for the WCW TV title.
2 pay-per-views Rick Martel gets.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
You know, the YouTube algo showed me a video. I didn't watch it. I think it's Halloween Havoc 98. And we're in 98 now, right?
Yeah.
Apparently we're close to Hogan versus Warrior 2.
Oh, yeah. That's coming.
I was much surprised about that. I don't look ahead to these things, so I was surprised.
But
I'm a little bit nervous, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, you have every right to be.
I don't know how it's going to end well or go well.
And we still have like the Jay Leno match, Karl Malone.
So I remember I showed you that picture of the NWO belt.
Yeah.
The person in the store, they were talking to me, like, oh yeah, I remember watching WCW, and that was the very thing they cited. Hulk Hogan coming out and playing the belt like a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like him and Dennis Rodman versus Karl Malone and that other guy. Dime Dallas Page would be that other guy.
Poor Dime Dallas Page.
He only won titles a couple times, so no big deal. But yeah, that was his like one recollection. So we're getting close.
Yeah. So we have that to look forward to. There's Bret Hart versus fucking Will Sasso.
Oh.
Yeah. There's all of Vince Russo's
they built
matches.
that on freaking Mad TV.
They did. I think didn't he wrestle somebody else?
I don't remember, but he had a big thing with Bret Hart.
So yeah, a lot of shit to get through.
I get to see why they failed.
The best part is they shut doors in 2000, and this is 98, so we got like 2 years of shit. We're gonna be victims when this is all said and done. Have PTSD.
Well, it should be interesting all around.
But that is the retro.
Pretty good overall. And on that note, if you agree with anything, let us know in the comments below. If you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, Follow us on all the social medias. And on that note, until next time, Top Guys out.